Hi, I'm Bill Woodard. We're here at the Smith County Chamber of Commerce in Smith County, Carthage, Tennessee. Welcome to the Chamber Corner. October is a very busy month, and we have Mr. Kurt Bass here to tell us some of the stuff that's going to be going on in Gordonsville, Tennessee.
Yes. So, Bill, this year is the 3rd annual Gordonsville Halloween Bash. Then we'll have it on Halloween night on the square in Gordonsville, on Main Street in Gordonsville, East Main Street in Gordonsville, right there between, kind of around the funeral home and First Baptist Church. We'll have, right now we're probably looking at 30 different, whether it's groups, organizations, or businesses, setting up a tent to give out candy to the kids, and having some other things going on. Touch the Truck, going to be giving out prizes, going to have some music. I don't know, have you ever experienced Halloween in Gordonsville?
I actually have, and I brought my little granddaughter and my children through Gordonsville. By the tone of that, we're talking decades. Gordonsville has been actually having people walking up and down the street as long as I can remember. You guys have been doing candy at the funeral home there, what, 10 or 12 years?
About 10 years, yeah. Hickman Baptist Church, they were really, they came to us probably 10 or 12 years ago and asked if they could set up and give out waters and Capri Suns. And then I guess 3 years ago, the Lions Club, Southside Lions Club, really tried to make it more of an event. And they set up at the Civic Center with a few different groups. And so now between all of us and some different people going out and bringing people in, a kid can come to Gordonsville. I took my little girl last year, and we went just in the area right there in front of the funeral home and the Baptist church where all the businesses and things were, and we had to get another bag before we even went down Main Street to see anybody. So it's a really great event, a good, safe place for the kids to come.
Well, it is, and I don't know if this is the first year, but you're going to be able to block Main Street off and make it to where there's no traffic in with the kids.
Right, and so last year, one of the biggest complaints we had was, there's still a lot of traffic going in and out of Main Street on up through the night, and big trucks occasionally, dump trucks and everything else. And our estimate last year was about 1,200 kids, plus their parents and whoever else was with them. And so when you have that many people, essentially from the Civic Center at Gordonsville all the way down to the high school, over the course of 3 hours, it stays pretty crowded. And so safety has become one of our biggest concerns. We reached out to TDOT this year, and they're going to actually let us shut the road off right in front of the ShopRite, the grocery store. Right,
where they can go down Hickman,
so they can go down
Old Hickman Road.
Hickman Highway, and then cut in, I guess, Oak Street, and then come back out Gordonsville High School, or vice versa the other way. And so I think it'll really open that up and make people feel like it's a safer place to be this time.
Well, yeah, and you're talking small children. I know when I was taking my kids around, you're talking 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. And if you're herding or shepherding
2 or 3 of them,
it's kind of hard to keep up.
It's a dangerous situation for sure.
Yeah,
so this is going to be good.
Yeah, well, what I like about it, like you said, it's started getting big now. I know Southside Lions Club is sponsoring this, and the City of Gordonsville is sponsoring it. The Chamber of Commerce is thrown in with it and helping with some of it. Is there anybody else that?
So the Bass Funeral Home and then First Baptist Church Gordonsville. Okay. That's who we kind of consider to be the flagship sponsors. Definitely don't want to leave out some of the people that have been there for a long time. Like I said, Hickman Baptist Church has been coming for a long time. Right. And but First Baptist is going. Of course, they let us use our parking lot to do the Touch a Truck. We're going to set up a Wilson Bank and Trust trailer event wagon, that they take to their different events out in front of it, and be doing live music and the giveaways off of that. And so they've been very kind to let us use whatever facilities they have available to us. They usually do their Halloween events in the back of the church, back where the gym is. And they kind of keep everything mainly back there. And so they're letting us use the front while they're taking care of things in the back.
Okay, well now, I hope I'm not asking you a question. I know you've thought this through because I've been to the meetings, but about parking, like say I'm a parent and I come from Carthage or Lancaster or Hickman or wherever, and I want to park my car so I can walk with my kids. What do you advise that they do? So
we have reached out to Gordonsville High School and Elementary School, and of course they're very open public parking the whole time down there. The Civic Center has got plenty of parking behind and in front of it. The store, next to the store, and then really our only other option is the
Crump Parish Park,
City Park, Ivy Agency Park.
Ivy Agency Park,
and because the funeral home will be pretty full of vendors, or what we call vendors, but the people giving out the candy, and then we expect the church parking lot to be very full of participants in the church's event. Right. And so I'm sure there will be some parking up there, but most everything I would say will probably be at the high school and the elementary school, and then at the Civic Center.
Okay, so probably more advisable for a person to actually come into town if they're coming from this direction, turn down the street, go around to the high school, and then walk back up.
Yes, and and it's not to be forgotten that between the roughly quarter mile from the funeral home to the school, we've counted, I think there's probably 30 houses that they could hit in a matter of no time right there too.
Right.
And so that was one thing that when we did this, we didn't want to take, there's so many people on Main Street in Gordonsville that this is an event that they love to participate in. They'll sit on the porch with their counters and count the number of kids that come through, and people will talk the day after Halloween, well, how many did you have and how many did you have? And so they love this event, and we don't want to take away from that. We want to be sure that the kids know and that everybody knows that once they either come up through there first or once they come past where everybody is, make sure because there's plenty of houses and plenty of people that would love to give out some candy. Well,
I know it's going to be a big event, and some of the folks that are presenting, I've heard there's going to be music and videos and just all kinds of things going on. So it's going to be quite an event.
It's going to be a great event. $250 cash prize giveaway.
Oh, really?
A big one.
And Tell us about that.
So we're going to give, everybody that comes will get a ticket, and then at 7 o'clock we're going to have a drawing, and it'll just be whatever prize we have and whatever ticket comes up. We've heard different people are going to donate gift cards and maybe some more cash and maybe a TV and some stuff for the kids and some gift baskets and different things like that. But right now the big headliner prize is a $250 cash giveaway, and so all that will take place at 7, right in front of First Baptist Church Gordonsville, in front of the funeral home, right in that area right there.
Speaking of time, what time do you plan to start, like the road being blocked off and then people start coming, and then what time do you figure you'll close it down and open the road back up?
So our expectations, we're saying that the Halloween Bash event will last from 5 to 8, and our expectations are to close the road somewhere around 4:45, 4:30. And we're going to ask all of our vendors to be set up, around that time. And then we will have the road open back up, hopefully between 8:15 and 8:30. And Gordonsville Police Department, the Rescue Squad, Ambulance Service, Smith County Police Department, they've all been very good about helping and making sure that there are going to be people there to help us out, to keep it safe, keep the road closed, make sure people are where they need to be when they need to be there.
Yeah, and of course the whole county's invited.
Whole county's invited, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
There's been years that, we see people from different counties and say, why did you come to Gordonsville? Well, everybody talks about this as a place to come.
Yeah.
And so, but until you've experienced it, you don't really know what you're missing.
Yeah, and I know it is a great night. The times that I've been through there, a lot of times I'm tied up with another event that's taking place, but I'm going to try and come because it'll end earlier.
Right.
And we're going to try to come there and see what's going on and kind of have a presence too, be there. Well, Kurt, is there anything we missed to ask you that you can think of?
I don't think so. We really appreciate the Chamber, of course, helping to sponsor and everybody else that helps put the event on. Being a father of young kids myself, it's really special to see the kids come through and it gives an opportunity for people that live out in the country like you and I do, that I won't get a trick-or-treat this year. I won't get a single one, but you get to come to Gordonsville, and your kids get to see a lot of people and get loved on by a lot of people, and you see that a community that cares more than just, they care about the kids and care about what's going on.
Oh yeah, well, and I know this is going to be hard to believe, but when I was a kid, that was a long time ago.
They have Halloween?
They actually had it, and we would go to Lancaster, and over there in the town of Lancaster, and we
to the
would
fire hall.
Well, no, this
before
was
the
before
fire
that.
Hall. Okay.
This is before fire hall, and we go around to the houses, and your great great grandmother, I believe, or great great grandmother. They would give out candy. I remember the Robinsons. There was a lot of people that would, have candy for you, and you would basically make a good haul of candy in Lancaster. And then I noticed over the year, and we when I got up older, we would open our house up, turn the lights on, and we get kids coming by. Over the years, and I don't know why it's changed or how it's changed, but over the years, we noticed there was less and less kids coming by. And the last 2 times that we had our light on at the house, and the only ones that came by were our own family, you know, the ones that we knew. And so I think the nature of things have happened, that people are looking for a safe environment. And I told that story to tell you guys this: if you're listening, if you know about an event that's going on like this, like the one in Gordonsville, then I'd highly recommend that you take your children there, because these folks, they want you to be there, and they're doing it out of the goodness of their own heart. I know the events that I'm involved in, the people are supplying the candy. They're putting this on, just, there's no ulterior motive in it. Well,
and for us, we kind of set up a committee when we first started this, and there's no charge for anybody to come. There's no charge for any, to bring any kids. All we ask the people that come to give out the candy is to get plenty of candy and to come and be ready to have a good time, because you see those kids coming through. Last year we had 2 girls that they danced for probably 30 or 45 minutes, 2 little girls, to the music that we had going. And everybody around got a huge kick out of that going on. And it's just a good event. Like you said, safe. Shannon Hunt has been kind enough to get a couple more of his people on staff that night. That way Gordonsville Police Department can have a little better presence. Sheriff Steve Hopper is sending some people over there. That way to make sure that whatever is going on, there are going to be people there to take care of it.
And any real spooks and gobblers, they ain't going to be messing with Shannon Hunt.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
They can handle it. Well, Kurt, thank you for coming by.
Yes, sir, Bill.
I appreciate you telling us about that. And we're looking forward. Folks, go to Gordonsville. There's something happening on the 31st.
31st, Halloween night, 5 to 8 p.m., Gordonsville Halloween Bash.
All right. Well, in our event circle, we're looking at things that are going on in October. And Coach, thank you for coming by, and you're going to tell us about your event. But introduce yourself, tell them who you're with, and all of that.
Sure will. My name's Randall Smith. I'm assistant girls basketball coach at Smith County High School. Todd Hess is the head coach. He's doing a wonderful job, and I'm glad to be with the organization. Got some great girls. They're young, but we're excited about the team.
Well, and sports around here is a big thing. I don't know if you've noticed, but you can have a lot of events, but the sports, you don't have to advertise them much. People come out for that because they love that.
They love watching kids.
You've got a fundraiser that you're going to do on Halloween night up here. Before, I don't want to steal your thunder, so why don't you just tell them, first off, what is it, and what are we going to be doing?
All right. We're going to do the Ladies Owls fundraiser. It's going to be annual, so this is our first year. So
this is the inaugural event?
The inaugural. Now, if I mess it up, just hang in there. We'll get better each year. But this is going to be called Smith County Owls, or Smith County Lady Owls Basketball Spook and Spice Chili Cook-Off. We're going to do an association with your Trick or Trunks up around the square.
Right.
And if you want to get in and get involved, it's $100. It is a fundraiser. You cook chili, have enough for these wonderful judges we got. Now, we're going to have Judge Collins, both mayors, chief of police. I haven't got to the sheriff yet, but I'm going to, challenge him to come eat. Barry Smith and Stephanie Dyer, the food service coordinator of the county. So we're going to have some judges that really love to taste chili, but it's a wonderful thing. What happened was we wanted to get involved with the community.
Exactly.
We wanted our girls to be part of the community and them to be part of us. And we come up with some ideas, and we decided on this, and Coach Hess looked at me and said, all right, let's get it done. I said, Coach Hess, this is the last week of September. He says, you can do it. So I tell everybody I'm behind by about 3 weeks, but I'm trying my best.
Well, it sounds to me like it's a great idea, and I know the people that I've heard talk about it, they're really excited about it.
Well, that's great.
And we're going to be doing the Jeepers Creepers there on the main street from 5 to 7. Now, what's your timing on this?
We're going to start setting our tents and tables and tasters, and the kids come around and get candy from the people that are joined. We're going to start at 4:45, and we're going to try to set the judging at 6. And have a winner by 7. Now, we're going to have a hot or a spicy and mild category. If you've got the best chili in town, we need you to enter this and prove it. Because you don't just win a trophy, you get bragging rights about that good chili.
Well, now, are you going to have like a professional and a non-professional category, or is it just all together?
No, we want to do mamas and papas in the community. if you're a professional, you think it's good, I'm sure we got a grandma that'll beat you. Bring it on out and give it a try.
Yeah, and that's wonderful. Now, 5 to 7, we're going to have the street blocked off there in front of the courthouse, right. Actually up the street, and then we may bring it in a little bit, but people don't have to worry about walking around. We're going to have the streets clear, yes. and they can be right there. Now, you're going to be right there on the courthouse grounds.
We're going to be right there on the front steps with tables set up, and they're going to set up in the lawn. And by the way, 2 of the most famous girls in the county are going to be the MCs. That's Honey and Sweetie. If you want to have a blast, you come out and watch Honey and Sweetie carry on.
Oh, I know already that's going to be good.
It's going to be wonderful.
Well, Coach, thank you very much. And have we missed anything, or is there anything we need to say?
If you need more information and you're not sure, because I know I'm leaving out a lot of stuff, you can call the high school at 615-735-9219. And we'll get you in the right direction. And we'd really appreciate you coming out and be part of this, because I know the community loves things like this. And we want it to grow, and we just want our club to be part of this community and be special.
Okay, and so come out. It's Jeepers Creepers, and then, of course, the Spook and Spice is a simultaneous event, and it's taking place up on the main street at the courthouse square. And you can't miss it. You just go find where the streets are blocked. And there's plenty of parking, by the way. You can park behind the courthouse. You can park behind the museum. You can park, it's all over the place, down the street by the courthouse. So don't worry about having to park. And what we're going to do this year with Jeepers Creepers, we're going to actually have an entry point and have everybody go in one direction. And we're going to try to start them down there at the courthouse. So we're looking forward to this. We think it's going to be a big night.
Oh, we're going to have a blast. And don't forget, come by and taste the chili. Judge for your own to see which one you think's the best.
Coach, you're probably going to shoot me for saying this, but you probably ought to have a People's Choice Award.
Well, we've thought about that, but we're going to go next year with that.
Okay.
We're going to try to get it started and get it off the ground. I'll tell you what, it's like dragging a ball and chain getting this thing going. Once we get it going, I think everybody's going to have a blast. And we may even add I've had a request for non-meat chili. So we may have some different choices, or we may figure out how to put them all in one bunch. But any kind of suggestions you want, we would love to have, because we want this thing to be big.
Well, and want it to grow, and so we'll try to do that. You know, out in the Southwest, some people out there make no bean chili and just meat.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different things that you can do with chili.
We may have to have a specialty category.
Hey, I'm looking forward to how this can, in the years to come, can really get to be something.
We might even get so big they show up at 8 o'clock in the morning and start cooking right on the square.
Hey, when what is it, ESPN or CBS shows up, we'll know it's big.
Well, I may invite them just to see if we can get them here.
All right, Coach, thank you a lot.
Thank you.
And we'll see you at, the Spice, Spook
on
and
Halloween
Spice.
night, Spook and Spice.
All right. Okay, October, there's a lot of things happening around here, and we're really glad to have you guys come over. Tell you what, why don't we go through and let you guys introduce yourself and tell them why you're here, who you are, why you're here.
I'm Galen Fish. I'm assistant baseball coach, and we're going to talk about our haunted house, which our baseball team is going to sponsor again this year.
Okay, well, have these guys introduce themselves.
Okay.
I'm Eli Hicks. I'm Kevin Bowles.
I'm Walson Underwood.
Okay, now, a haunted house, that sounds wonderful. Tell us about it.
Well, actually, this is our second year. Last year, we had it over beside Todd Safeway. Mm-hmm. And this year, we're going to have it at the old Welch building in Gordonsville off Hogan Road.
Okay.
And this year, we're going to call it the Scream Factory. And it's going to be really neat. We learned a lot of things last year. And our coach came in, Coach Harrell, he came in from West Tennessee, or actually Nashville the last 2 or 3 years. But he's brought this idea. He's done it everywhere he's went. So we kind of, last year was just a starting point, and we learned a lot, and we're going to be a lot better this year.
Okay, and like you said, you moved from one location to another, so now you're going to be at the old Welch building. Tell me this, what days and hours are you working this?
Okay, let me use my cheat notes just to make sure I get it right. We're going to open up on the 15th of October, and that's on a Tuesday night, and that's going to be elementary night. And what we do on that, we leave the lights on so the little kids can come through. They won't be scared. We'll be in full costume, but we'll leave the lights on for them. and that's going to be a $5 for all the kids. And then the next night is Wednesday night, and we're hoping that we're going to promote it as a group night. Hopefully a lot of the youth groups from church and all will come after they go to service and all, and that's a $5 charge too. And then the rest of the week will be 17th, 18th, and 19th will be $15 each night. That'll be the first week. Second week it will be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, the 24th through the 26th, $15. And then the next week we will wrap it up with we'll be open every night, Monday through Saturday. Okay. And it's $15 each night.
All right. And now Halloween night, I was listening to that, but Halloween night, will you be open?
We'll be open. Weeknights, Monday through Thursday will be from 6 to 10. Friday and Saturday night be 6 to 12.
Okay, and you know, a lot of people, we're talking to a broader audience than just Smith County, so if you do not know where the Welsh building is, you get off exit 258 and come into Gordonsville, and you come toward downtown, and you go on Main Street. Now, they're going to have the street blocked off, so we'll talk about Halloween night a little different, but you come down Main Street, and then what is the street that you turn on? You turn left on Hogan Road.
Yeah, Hogan Road.
On Hogan Road, and you go around Hogan Road, and when you see the interstate going across the top of your head, the Welch building's right there.
Yeah, just go right on the interstate, and it's right there on the left. You won't miss it. There'll be enough signs and lights.
Okay,
and
you're going to have
cars and everything too.
And so the Scream Factory, you're going to make sure the signage is out. Okay, all right, and let's see.
This year we've got 9 scenes.
Okay.
Each one's a seniors. We've got 8 seniors on our baseball team. Each one of them has a scene, and then Lawson has his scene. So we've got 9 scenes. They're bigger and better than last year. If anybody that went, we had a lot of compliments last year on, you know, the way we had it set up and all. And a lot of people enjoyed it. We had people come from all over. I think we had about 1,500 people come through last year.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, so, it's age appropriate for anybody in the family?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's wonderful. Because some of these places you go, like I went to one in Nashville, and I thought, Lord, I'm glad I didn't bring my little girl. But yours is going to be okay.
Yeah, it's going to be okay. They won't be anybody but grabbing a hold of you or anything like that, but it's going to be scary now.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be scary. Yeah. That's it. Tell you what, do me a favor, pass that mic down there, and I'm going to ask some questions. Start out, I know you told them who you were, but tell them what year you are and kind of a little bit about yourself with the baseball.
I'm a junior. I play center field, shortstop, and I pitch.
Okay, and where you hail from? Where you live?
Sykes.
Sykes, okay, all right.
I'm a senior this year. I play third base and also pitch, and I'm from Brush Creek.
I'm a junior. I play middle infield, catcher, pitch, and I'm from Grant.
All right. Now I know you've got several people on the ball team. How many's on your team?
Well, what Coach Harold has tried to do when he come in, we've got three different teams. We've got 6th through 8th grade is going to be our elementary team, and then we'll have a junior varsity team, and then we'll have a varsity team. What we're hoping to do is train the kids as they come up to, you know, the ways to pitch and the way to field, and just as they get older, then they'll have those habits that already built in.
Right, you're building depth for your teams as they come along.
That's the plan.
Yeah, well that is a wonderful. It sounds like a wonderful program. Well, Galen, you and I grew up around Lancaster, Tennessee, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
I remember baseball games, don't you?
Yeah, we took Halloween kind of serious down there.
Yeah, we took it too serious, I think. And if I remember right, you were a pretty good ball player, especially baseball.
Well, not bragging on myself. People say I was. I was pretty fast.
Well, I will say this. Of course, this is not really giving you an accolade, but you were a lot better than I was. That's for sure. Anyway, I remember you playing really well.
You're a better singer than I was.
Well, okay, there we go. We can go along with that. Well, Galen, thanks for bringing these guys over. And the Scream Factory, folks, you need to support these guys. I'm sure all the proceeds goes to the ball team.
Yes.
And these guys need your support because I know you probably have to travel and do a lot of different things. You have to have uniforms to take care of, a lot of stuff to do.
We're going on spring break next year. We're going back to Gulf Shores where we went last year. We were 3-1 with some stiff competition down there. So last we had a good year. We were 29-5, so that's not a bad year. We fell a little short of the goal that we had set, but still hope to do better this year.
Well, I know that people around here will support you, and guys, you need to come down to the Scream Factory. I know you'll enjoy it. Kayla, thank you.
Thank you, Billy.
Okay, October. I'm loving October. We got so much going on. And Suzanne, if you would introduce yourself, tell them who you're with, and then we're going to talk about some things.
Okay, I'm Suzanne Angel, and I work at the Smith County Drug Prevention Coalition, and I'm here to talk about a special event we have going on October 26th. People may be familiar with the Count It, Lock It, Drop It program. We encourage people to lock up their medications, to count them every 2 weeks, and dispose of them properly. And we're having a drug take-back event. We are partnering with Walmart. We will be there October 26th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can bring any of your unused medications, out-of-date, prescription, or over-the-counter. We can take any type of medication, liquids or pills. We just don't take syringes or IV tubing in bags. But other than that, you can bring it. No questions asked. You just drop it in a box and go on, do your shopping, and have a good day. And
it's good to do that because medication that lays around like that, number one, it gets old and it's probably not usable, and then the other thing is the possibility of a young child or somebody that's not supposed to get it.
You know, there's always accidental poisonings. There's also a chance of being theft and diversion that fuels the drug epidemic, and also it's not safe to go into our rivers and our water supply and the groundwater. So it's really good to clean out your medications, drop them. It's really simple. Most people make their way in to Walmart on a Saturday. They can just drop off their unused medications. And the other thing I'd like to talk about is our Tennessee Save a Life program. My husband and I share a position called the Regional Overdose Prevention Specialist, and we train people on the Tennessee Save a Life program. We train people on the signs and symptoms of opioid overdose and how to reverse an opioid overdose with the nasal spray Narcan. It's a really simple training. Anybody can pass it. It's a nasal spray, and you'll be certified. You're protected under the Good Samaritan law, and this program is available to anybody, groups, churches, civic organizations, individuals. And since we started this program in Tennessee and started rolling out naloxone in November 2017, lay people through this program, 5,500 lives have been saved. So it's really easy, it doesn't take long, and anybody can be at risk for overdose. Chronic pain patients that take prescribed medication, anyone who uses any type of illegal substance could be at risk for overdose, and you just never know when you have the chance you could save someone's life.
Well, and that's something we should all be concerned about.
Yes, and it's free and it's available. Anybody that lives in the state of Tennessee has access to this program. If you live in the Upper Cumberland, it'll be my husband or myself that'll be doing the training. We'll be glad to do that. Just call the coalition office. We can set that up for you. The number is 615-588-1622.
You know, when you live in a small town, you really appreciate the businesses that are in town and the folks that spend their capital and their resources and their time and effort, you know, trying to build a business. And this gentleman that we have with us here today, he's doing exactly that. Cole, would you introduce yourself to these folks?
Hi, I'm Cole Ebel. I'm the proprietor of Ebel's Tavern. We're located on 104 3rd Avenue East, right on the square in historic downtown Carthage. We offer a variety of menu items all the way from steak to seafood, to oysters fresh on the half shell, to Reubens, to Phillies, to burgers. We got all kinds of stuff going on down there. We usually have like a local dart league happening. We have live music on Friday and Saturday nights. We got trivia on Sunday nights. We just got it all going on all the time down there.
Well, and I hear a lot of folks talking. You mentioned the Dart League. I hear a lot of folks talking about that. Evidently, that's getting to be a pretty popular thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing. We get everyone involved. It's just you'll have community leaders coming out for Dart League. You'll have just local vendors coming out. Just you know, we really try to. It's a good place to socialize. We tease each other all night long. It's pretty easy going. You know, we have a couple of sharks, but we try to make sure they don't win out.
Yeah, you try to keep them in control. Yeah.
That's right. I've never won one, so.
Well, now it's a family atmosphere. It's okay to bring your children.
Absolutely,
and
absolutely. We do kids eat free on Sundays. So if you bring your kids out on Sundays, they'll eat free with the purchase of adult entree. we do all kinds of different things for kids, and it's definitely very family friendly. And we usually, if we have an event that's not, usually we sometimes have later events, like we're going to have the costume contest. It's a late night event coming up for Halloween. We sponsor that for Jeepers Creepers, so it's kind of a later event. That might be one of our only events that might be more just adult oriented. But other than that, it's very family friendly.
Well, now I know the building that you're in, it has a lot of history with it. You renovated the building, and I think it's always had an apartment in the top. Is that right, or was it storage at one time?
Okay, so from what I heard, it used to be storage. It used to be a dentist office. It used to be this, that, the other on the very top. Now it's my residence. I have the residence up there. Down on the Main Street level is Kim's Frame and Art. She's been there for
as long as I can remember.
42 years now. The building's 102 years old. And in the basement, it used to be the old Carthage Courier
print room.
Print room, yep. And the back in the kitchen, where the kitchen was, it was a dirt floor coming in and everything like that. And so what we did is there wasn't much to do because we had the old original stonework and brickwork, so there wasn't much to do in that. But we really tried to put that historical tavern, post-colonial lighting in there, just to really bring out, the foundations of how things were when this county was founded. The first business in Smith County was a ferry and tavern. It was Walton's Ferry and Tavern. So we really tried to model the historical aspect after that. And our country was founded in the tavern, and the Marine Corps was founded in the tavern. And we really try to bring that idealistic out of it.
Yeah, well, and I think you've done that in the building itself. You've done a wonderful job of restoring it, and especially that portion of it. I remember as a child going down in there and seeing the printing presses.
Did you sweep down
there?
And
I did not.
Everybody talks about how they got a job sweeping down there. Apparently, there's
the whole town.
There's a high rate of turnover on the sweeping job down there.
Yeah. No, I never had that privilege, but I remember being down there and seeing those presses, and it was pretty impressive. In fact, one of the presses that was sitting down there is sitting in front of the Courier foyer right now.
Right on the front side of it, yep. So it's pretty neat. It was a different time, and it's neat that they still have that around. Those are things that are, priceless items, heavy priceless items.
But now you can come there and sit in the press room and get some of the excellent food, and I highly recommend it. I know my family likes it. It's Ebel's Tavern, and did we miss anything? Is there anything else we need to say?
You can call, get to-go orders, 615. Get my phone number straight here. 615-588-1888. Look, it's right down here. 588-1888. You can visit us online at ebelstavern.com. That's EBELSTAVERN.com. And then we're happy to help. We love our community. We love you come down and eat with us and have fun and just sit back, relax, have a good time. We offer a lot of things that a lot of people aren't offering in town, and you don't have to drive out to Cookeville, or you don't have to drive out to Lebanon or Mount Juliet. You got great seafood, great steaks, upper 2/3, center cut choice, aged 21 days, grass-fed, grain-finished beef. So you can get some rocking steaks down there too. So,
it sounds good. Now, you said you had a kids eat free on Sunday.
That's right.
Do you ever have a chamber directors eat free?
Are you talking like the Rutherford County Chamber Director?
Well, we can invite all the ones from around.
Grundy County, Warren County. I don't think we have one for the Smith County.
Oh, you don't? Possible. Okay, well, we've missed out on that. No. Well, folks, even with that said, Ebel's Tavern is a good place to go and eat. And Cole, thank you for coming by.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you having us out.
All right.
Have a good one.
We've got a wonderful young lady here with UT Extension. I've known you now, how long? Time flies.
4 years about.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
I am amazed at how time flies, and we've been talking with you. One of the wonderful programs that you do, we just interviewed Mr. Jerry, and talking about Tai Chi, and I'm sure you might want to add a little bit to what he said. Maybe tell some folks about Tai Chi, and maybe when you're going to do some more of them.
Yes. So right now we're doing our Tai Chi 2 class. So that's for people that have already been through the first 6 classes and kind of have the basic movements down, and then they move on to the 6 advanced movements. So Mr. Jerry is one of those participants. So we're really happy to have him do those. But we're also offering Tai Chi 1 in the spring. So if you want to get started in Tai Chi, the springtime would be a good time, I think, to do it. If you're like me, I always get the winter blues and then come back in the spring and I'm ready to exercise. So I thought that would be a good time to do it. If you just call the extension office at 615-735-2900, I can go ahead and get your name on a list. But it has all kinds of health benefits with it. It helps your balance and your flexibility. It helps me relax. It's just really good. Soft movements that I think is good. It might take you some time to get used to it if you're not used to those soft movements, but anybody could benefit from it, no matter the age.
Well, I know that's one of your wonderful programs. Now, you have several other things that you do. You want to talk about a couple of those?
I'm excited about some different things coming up. We're doing Pathways to Health at Smith County Fitness Center this fall. It starts on October the 15th. That is a Tuesday, and it goes through 6 weeks. That last week, it will be on a Thursday instead of a Tuesday, but all the rest will be on a Tuesday. It's going to be from 12 to about 1:30, and in that class you learn all things that encompass health. So you'll learn how to read nutrition labels, you'll learn how stress and different things impact your sleep. You'll learn how to get different physical activities into your day, and just all those different things that encompass health. It is a 6 weeks program. With that, you'll get a toolkit. It does cost $40 to take, but you also get free access to the Smith County Fitness Center for those 6 weeks. So that's definitely a benefit, I think, and I think it's a great program. And we're also doing Maintain, Don't Gain. It is starting in November the 24th. Is when it goes through, and it's for 7 weeks. It ends on January the 10th, and it is for those holidays meals. If you're like me, you like to eat during the holidays. So it's a holiday program. We send out emails every week to kind of help you focus on exercise, all those different things that impact you during the holidays to be healthier, make healthier choices. So that will be coming up, and that is completely free to do. Just sign up, and you also get free access to the Smith County Fitness Center during those 7 weeks. So I think that's a really good thing as well. And to sign up for that, you sign up at tiny.utk.edu/2019 capital MDG. And if you need more information on that, you can contact the Extension office at 615-735-2900.
Okay, and if you happen to forget any of these things that we're showing you, you can call the chamber and we can get you in touch with these guys.
Yes.
Well, Mary, I know you didn't plan to talk on this, but I always want to brag on your FCE program and your ladies. They are just absolutely phenomenal. Now,
yes.
I don't think you've got a real big event coming up anytime soon, but don't they meet during the month? Yeah,
they meet every month. We have 9 in the county and about 200 members, so they impact a large part of the county and some surrounding counties. But they definitely do lots of important things, beneficial things for the county. So I'm really proud of all of them. Right now, they're working on a state conference for all the FCE ladies. So that's kind of what's got them busy in this fall. So we don't have certain classes coming for them per se, but they do meet every month. And if you'd like to join one of those clubs, you can talk to an FCE members if you know one of them, or you can call the Extension office.
Okay, and tell them what FCE stands for.
SCE stands for Family and Community Education. So they meet every month, and they'll have some kind of community project to do. That each one has their own personality, so they have their own service projects per se. And they also have an educational chair that meets with them, or I meet with them quarterly to do an educational thing. Educational program, and they also have they always have good food, so it's a fun time.
Well, one of the groups meets here at the chamber, I believe, and
I think actually 2 of them now.
Yeah, 2 of them. And when I was a young boy, my mom, they called it Home Demonstration Club then, and she was always excited when the Home Demonstration Club was coming to her home. Do they still do home visits on some of them?
Some of them do meet in the houses, some of them meet at houses sometimes, some things they meet at churches. We're thankful and fortunate that the chamber lets us use this for our nightclub, one of our nightclubs, as well as one of the day clubs because it's a very good central location, but some of them still meet at home.
There's an ulterior motive because the one day that it's actually more than once I was here, and they evidently have a dinner, and they'll bring a dessert over, so it's pretty nice.
Oh yes, that is the benefit of it.
Oh, no doubt about that. Well, hey, if you don't know about FCE, whether you're in Smith County or in another county, it's a great organization, and you can call your UT Extension office, and they can tell you about it. Mary, thank you very much. Appreciate the job that you do here in this county.
Thank you, and we appreciate you.
Well, you and Katie and Chris are just real assets to us, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
I am always thrilled to have one of our chamber members come by and participate in the chamber corner, and we're literally in the chamber corner here.
We are.
It's our show that we get to showcase some folks, and got a really special new member. Miss Holly Kirby has been talking about getting down here in her shop. It's been doing so well, and she sent a representative. Now we're going to have to get her on this show, but
we are. Why
don't you introduce yourself to these folks?
I'm Mallory Dickerson. I've been working at #HOLLY'S for about a month now, and I'm really enjoying it so far.
Well, and let's talk about you just a little bit. Now, you're a local resident. Do you live in Carthage, or?
I live in Cookeville now, but I was born in Carthage.
Born in Carthage, okay. And you're going to dental school, is that right?
Yes, in Nashville.
Okay, and I understand, if I remember right, you work sometimes at John Long's. He's also a chamber member, by the way, a very good dentist.
He is. I job shadow there.
Very great guy. So you are planning on getting your degree and then maybe, hopefully coming back to work maybe here?
Absolutely, for sure.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Well, now let's talk about #HOLLY'S a little bit. You said you've been working there for a month, so I'm sure you know everything about it, right?
Yes, I like to think that, but you know, yeah, it's a really, really good job. I work with so many good people, and they're really good at teaching me what to do. So
well, first thing I like is I love the name. I don't know if you've caught about it, but that's a snazzy name, #Holly. And I understand that Holly came up with that herself.
She did.
With some help from other folks, but I really love the name, and I saw and I asked, you brought one of the shirts. This shirt was really popular, and I know you made one for the Smith County High and one also for Gordonsville High School.
Right, we have both colors.
Yeah, and have both colors, and I remember the other day we just had our Walton Days Festival, and you guys were full.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny. A couple of weeks ago, I came to talk to Holly's, and she had come down. We had another chamber member. Verizon had moved their store, and Holly, of course, used to work with them, and so she has friends there. So she had come down for their grand opening, and I had come up to her store to talk to her, and I was in there, and you guys, you could just barely move around.
It was packed.
I remember how busy it was packed.
Right.
And I came outside on the street, and I said, Holly, I'd really like to talk to you, but you need to go in your store there. And I think it's that way a lot, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So folks, if you haven't heard about #HOLLY'S, you might ought to go check that out. Now, tell them what you have down there. What's some of the stuff that you have?
Well, we have clothing is our specialty, and we have sizes from small all the way up to 3X because we like to include everybody, all shapes and sizes. We have a ton of gift ideas, Pura Vida bracelets, teleties, they're really popular right now. We've got coffee mugs, shoes, jewelry of every kind, anything you'd want, soap, just all kinds of stuff.
Well, and there was a little plaque down there. I went to talk to Holly today, and I wound up buying something.
Yep.
And there was a plaque down there that I really liked, and you've got several of those not laying around, displayed would be the correct way to say it.
Right.
Several of those displayed around the store. So you've got, pardon me for using the word, but an eclectic choice of things.
Right.
And plus the women's clothing.
Right. We have a ton of home decor, and so clothing isn't the only thing we have, but yeah, we have a lot of gift ideas. Okay,
and the store, of course, it looks wonderful too. Well, Mallory, thank you for coming by, and
absolutely.
We wish you a lot of luck, and I hope that you get to come back to Smith County and be here.
Oh, for sure.
All right. Well, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Well, UT Extension is a vital part of this community, and Mr. Chris Hicks, He is the go-to man when it comes to plants. I brought you in a special one today, didn't I?
You did.
We had a course at your Lunch and Learn. Well, first off, let's get the formalities out. Would you? I know you probably don't need to, but introduce yourself.
Sure. Chris Hicks, UT Extension. We are a member of the University of Tennessee, working to serve farmers and landowners, families, 4-H members here in Smith County, and appreciate the opportunity to talk to you, Bill.
Well, now we have a Lunch and Learn here. It's on Wednesdays.
First Wednesday of every month.
And since it's called Lunch and Learn, it's probably around noon, isn't it?
Correct, noon to 1 on the first Wednesday of each month.
Okay, well, the last Lunch and Learn was about weeds.
Right, we did weed control.
Okay, and I attended that one.
You did, and I made a suggestion, and you ignored it.
Yeah,
right?
He said, don't bring a plant in here that's laid on your dash and dried up and expect me to be able to identify it. So I went especially, and I cut a plant, and I laid it in my car, and I left it there for 2 weeks. And I brought it in, and guess what? He identified it.
We did. We got lucky on that one.
Hey, I was pretty, and then he told me, he said, you're spreading seeds everywhere.
Yeah, it was pretty dry.
Because it was definitely a weed, wasn't it?
It was.
So anyway, Chris, I appreciate you. You're a good sport, and you do a wonderful job.
Thank you.
I think you wanted to talk about 4-H though first, because Katie couldn't be here.
Sure. So Katie had some previous commitments, so couldn't talk about 4-H. Of course, Katie Martin does a great job as our 4-H agent.
She sure does.
She has got some really neat things coming up. And first of all, I guess wanted to brag on our forestry judging team. We had some high school kids and some junior high and juniors too that competed in the Central Region Forestry Contest. Mr. Kenny Claywell helped coach them. The area forestry helped coach them. Katie's not necessarily an expert in forestry, so she brought in some volunteers to coach that team. They wanted to do forestry. These kids did. We had never had a forestry judging team, and they wanted to participate in this contest. And anything you ask Katie to do, if you're a kid and you ask Katie to do something in 4-H, she's going to give it her all. And they trained those kids, and lo and behold, they got second place in the regional contest.
Wow.
And they get to go to the state contest October the 19th. So they'll go compete in Knoxville at the state forestry judging contest on October 19th. So that's a big accomplishment for that group of kids.
I bet they're hyped up about that.
They
too.
are. And they're still, of course, studying and practicing and getting ready for that state contest.
Well, wouldn't it be something if they won the whole thing?
That'd be great.
Would be great.
Yeah, that'd be great. Of course, then we'd have to fundraise to send them to the national contest.
That's okay.
But I'd be glad to do it.
Yeah,
I'd be glad to do that and give them that opportunity. But we got that going on. Katie also is promoting speeches in 4-H clubs this year. So if you're a parent out there or a grandparent and your kid is in 4th through 8th grade, especially in our schools or even homeschool, speeches are coming up in November. So you might want to ask your child if they're going to write a speech or do a speech. So important. I mean, public speaking is just a skill that I think kids don't realize how important it is and how much they're probably going to have to do it as they get older, not only at high school and college, but even in the workforce. Just being able to get up in front of a group, and you don't have to be necessarily the Martin Luther King of giving a speech, but to be able to sound coherent and have some confidence in giving a speech. That's a skill that we take a lot of pride in teaching in 4-H, and we've got a long history in Smith County 4-H of having some kids who really excel in public speaking. So that's going on right now. And also October 29th, she's going to have a get-together for 4-H members, specifically middle school and high school 4-H members at the Amazing Corn that the drivers run, the little agritourism farm that Danny runs. And that's October 29th, so call our office, 735-2900, if you're interested in that. I know it'll be a good time. Hopefully it'll be cooler than it is today. I'm sure it will, but it wouldn't have far to go to be cooler, would it?
No, this is a pretty warm October.
Yeah.
Well, I know you had other things that were going on. Well, is that finished with 4-H?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, I know you had some things of your own, and of course the Lunch and Learns, I know you will talk about those. But what's going on in your area?
Well, right now we've been pretty busy planning some upcoming events, but also corn plots. We've been harvesting our corn plots that we do, and also our soybean plots. We're going to be harvesting those soon. So every year we plant several different varieties of corn and soybeans in the area. to see which varieties do well in Smith County, Trousdale County, Macon, these surrounding counties. We want to know what varieties work best for our farmers, and that way our farmers maybe have an idea of some different varieties to look at. You know, if one variety yields 200 bushels and another does 240, well, maybe we need to take a closer look at planting that 240 and go in that direction. So it's a service to our farmers, and that data is compiled with other tests across the university and compiled in a nice publication that comes out to farmers across the state. So we've been doing that. Our master beef classes have started, and we'll have those again in the spring if any beef cattle producers or those that are looking to get into beef cattle production, if they'd be interested in that. We've got our Upper Cumberland Bull Summit coming up at Heidelberg's on October 19th.
And that's not storytelling.
No, that's we're actually going to have bulls on display and kind of teach folks, all right, how do you select a bull? How do you pick a bull? We need to look at it, but we also need to take into account that bull's genetics, and we're going to do some demonstrations with bulls. Also, the governor, we expect him to be there. Governor Lee is planning on coming and saying some words to us. Of course, he has a pretty big interest in agriculture and is a well-known in the Hereford industry in particular as far as cattle production, so we're excited about that. And you mentioned the Lunch and Learn. I'm really excited about our November Lunch and Learn. Okay. It's going to be November the 6th here at the Chamber of Commerce, beekeeping. Oh, and, yeah. Beekeeping seems like a topic that just really draws a crowd. People are really interested in beekeeping. This is going to be primarily information directed at new and kind of novice beekeepers. So I told the crowd today, if you've been keeping bees for 20 years, you might not learn as much, but you're still welcome to come. So we'd love to have anybody, but especially if it's something you're thinking about getting into or you've just gotten into beekeeping, I think it would be good information for you to come and hear about.
So some questions about that.
Sure.
The bees, I heard a statement made, I don't know if it was you or I heard it somewhere else, but I heard a statement made that if we did not have bees, we would not have agriculture.
Oh, I mean, it's so important, and I better not try to guess what the statistics are. I'd have to look them up, but it's, 1 out of every 3 or 4 bites of food they say comes from plants that were pollinated by bees, and so they are critical. Yeah, I would definitely say that's a true statement. We certainly would not have near the food production that we have without bees, so they're really important to our economy, our ag economy, but also pretty nice to have not only pollinate the crops, but fresh honey. That's hard to beat.
Well,
and medicinal purposes, I believe.
The flowers and everything
Sure.
that takes that. Well, now, bee production, let's say a person wanted to just try to get a hive and have them around to where you're actually helping pollinate things and helping the bees and maybe get a little honey out of it. Is that something that's viable and a person could do if they could find how would you do that?
Oh, sure. The hobby beekeeping has really exploded over the last few years. It's very doable. Some people will buy what's called a nuke, which is kind of a package of bees that come in the mail, actually, and they can start their own hive, and we'll talk about that at this Lunch and Learn. Also, if you're kind of in with another beekeeper and they split a hive, maybe their hive has done really well and it's kind of outgrown its capacity and they split that hive, you might be able to get some of their bees. And probably the third way is somebody has a swarm of bees that have come and they've wrapped around their mailbox or they've got under the eave of their house, and if you have a neighbor that happens to, you might be able to go and collect those bees. But really should have a little bit of experience before you go that route, I would say, because that can be kind of a hairy situation if you don't have experience, and the protective clothing for sure.
Right. When I was a child, my uncle worked in Florida in the orange groves, and they literally would make sure there were hives in some of the groves, and they kept them. And he was that was one of his jobs, to take care of the bees. And I always thought that was so fascinating that he could just walk through them. And they didn't seem to bother him. And me, it seemed like if I even got near one of them, they would sting me. So there is definitely a skill and art to it.
And if you're in beekeeping, you're going to get stung. And a lot of experienced beekeepers, they don't want to wear gloves. Most of them will still wear a veil, but a lot of them won't wear gloves because they just feel like they get in the way. And it's amazing to me because I wouldn't go near the things without the gloves and the veil and the jacket and the whole deal.
I'm afraid I would be like you. Well, okay, beekeeping and lunch and learn, and those are every Wednesday. Okay.
First Wednesday of every month.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else?
You know, the other thing I thought I would mention, Bill, is just from a weather-related standpoint. Of course, we've been in a pretty severe drought. I would call it. Haven't had much rain. Normally, I recommend people reseed their yards, reseed their pasture, throw out seed, cool season seed like fescue in September. I hope they didn't take that advice this year. I hope this year they held off because September was just a terrible month as far as weather to go out and put seed out. Cool season grasses like fescue need 60 to 80 degree temperatures, and our temperatures were high 90s a lot of the days, and very little to no rain, and what rain there was very spotty and just not much. So I think October is going to be better. By the time this airs on DTC, temperatures are going to be cooler. Hopefully we'll have had some moisture, and seeding is going to be much more viable. So make sure you get out there and do that if it needs to be done. We can help you with recommendations as far as seeding rates and fertility, soil testing, things like that. So give us a call, 735-2900, stop by our office and see us. We'll be glad to talk to you.
Okay, and we're always bragging on Katie and you and Mary.
Well, thank you.
There's one person that on your lunch and learns, if you don't come for anything else, if Miss Barbara Vantrice makes the dessert, it's worth it for that.
Oh, she is. She's the MVP. I mean, we couldn't do it without her.
No doubt about it.
She does a great job, and eager to do it.
Yeah, and she really enjoys it. So, folks, if you get a chance, sign up for one of the lunch and learns, and beekeeping is the next one.
That's right.
All right, Chris, thanks.
Thank you, Bill.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed the show. We want you to remember there's a lot of things happening in Smith County. And of course, over in Granville, Tennessee, our friends over there, they put on a wonderful show, and they do a lot of events. And check with us here at the Chamber. We've got the schedule, and we'd love to send you over there, and you have a great time over in Granville, Tennessee. Also, we had a wonderful Walton Days Festival here, and it's been absolutely wonderful to be involved with the Walton Days. And so we have a few clips of that, and so we're just going to kind of let that end the show with some clips of our William Walton Days Festival that we had this past weekend.
So much activity, so many people, this is part of our community.
I'm quilting. This particular art form is called applique, where you take pieces of fabric and attach it to other pieces of fabric, and you build and make pictures out of it. Quilting is a very old art form. The pioneer people used to do it to stay warm.
We're actually one of the sponsors for the William Walton Days. We do donate some of the giveaway prizes, and of course we're just here with our booth letting customers know we have our fiber services available, giving candy to the kids. So we really like to be part of this.
This is our kind of debut thing out in the public. We've never done anything like this. We've just been a company for like a month now, so trying to do good.
Just a good opportunity to say to the community we appreciate the children and love to reach out and provide this for everyone.
We do this every year. Everybody from our church actually joins together, and we set up 2 tents, and this year we're doing the face painting for the kids. So we just come together as a family and cook and work together, because if you can work together as a family, you got it made. So
I've been over there by the bunny jumps, and then over there where that red thing and it twirls.
Seeing friends that you hadn't seen in a long time, talking with them, and I just enjoy it.